As much as I would love to just grill into the Packers for however long this is, I'm going to be real and to be a very non-biased Bears fan. What exactly did the Packers fail to do this year? Every Packers fan will say, well, this team was Super Bowl ready. No, it was not. You were 9-8 last year, and you made one change on defense. Granted, Xavier McKinney was a great change on defense, but still, no one knew this team was really going to go anywhere because there were teams like the Lions, the Eagles, to the media, teams like the Buccaneers, and hell, even teams at like Minnesota, teams like Dallas at the time. A lot of those teams just seemed better than them. And granted, the Packers played some pretty decent good games this year. They were a couple of plays from beating the Lions. They realistically probably could have beaten the Eagles in week 1 if Jordan Love doesn't get hurt. Not to mention, too, solid wins against the Packers, Seahawks, Saints, but also, too, no one knew where this team was going to go. No one knew at all. And, you just can't really say that the Packers overachieved or underachieved. They got to the part where everyone knew they would. Once they got into the playoffs, it was an expectation hellstorm. Most people thought they were going to get bounced out by the Eagles. People thought, oh no, we're going to beat the Eagles because we're the 7-seed Messiah. And just no. The Packers did everything they needed to do this year, and that's build off their foundation of success. And that's whatever. The main issue that I have with are Packers fans getting upset. This is one of the youngest teams in football. One of the youngest. Most of the people on that team probably can't even get into bars without being carded. And they're on NFL rosters in Green Bay, so everybody should know who they are. Regardless, you can't just sit here and say that this team is bad. You can't say that you need to burn this team up to the ground. Ben Kurt, I'll get into him in a separate video. God, that guy's a fucking idiot. Regardless, you can't say burn this team up when they are one of the youngest in the NFL. They are still learning. And you want to know what young teams do? They overachieve. They do shit that they're not supposed to do because you haven't honed in their talent yet. Just like the Green Bay Packers haven't honed in the talent of any of their guys. Christian Watson is the closest thing to a wide receiver 1 on that team, but his ACLs are made of gelatin, which hopefully everything gets well for him. Jaden Reed, when playing, has the potential to be a Deebo Samuel-like player and to be one of the most exciting in the NFL. You want to know something? He really wasn't that much of an impact for most of the games this year. Then you go to the tight end core. Tucker Kraft, fucking hell of a name for a guy in Green Bay, and he was really exciting. The main issue was when he was exciting. He had one really good play this year where they were fucking talking about piss. But other than that, I can't recognize a single moment from Tucker Kraft this season. These players are young. They're going to be young. And simply put, young players make mistakes. And the biggest mistake that was going on this season is that the Packers did what they did and overachieved again. They went off a blocked field goal in Chicago. They barely beat the Jags. They barely beat the Texans. They barely beat the Rams, who, by the way, had almost nobody at that time. And they overachieved. And you want to know what happened when they got into the playoffs? When they had a team with a lot of developed and 100% ready rosters? They got their ass handed to them. Granted, everyone will say, oh, but from the first play of the game, you have to rebound back from those. They suck, 100%. And as a Bears fan, I know those kind of stuff suck because I have to go through them every fucking year. But simply put, the Packers didn't do anything that showed that they should win this game. Not to mention, too, Jordan Love regressed. He did not have as great of a year this year than he did last year. Like, the Packers just overachieved. That's what happens with young rosters. And to say that you should burn it up or that you should fire Matt LaFleur, which, by the way, to every single Packers fan out there who says that Matt LaFleur should be considered in being fired, I would like you to sit here and look at all the NFL teams who would fire their coach right now to get Matt LaFleur. I can guarantee you about one or two teams, even in the playoffs right now, would fire their coach for him right now. All in all, the Packers weren't that bad this season. And to all the Packers fans who think they were, be real. This team was not Super Bowl ready. This team wasn't going to get too far into the playoffs, and it was all because you assumed that everyone was just going to jump to that next level, and not everyone did. But hey, going in the next year, this team's going to be a lot more developed. They're not going to have to be going up against the fucking gauntlet anymore. Not to mention, too, this year, they even did some stuff right in terms of, drafting. If you want to look at their draft this year, they got Edgar and Cooper. Edgar and Cooper was a fucking beast this year. The Packers got it right in this draft. But the issue is, they just need more time. You can't expect this team to just instantly get together. But hey, once they finally do get together, they're going to be the Packers of the old. But once more, it takes time. You can't blow the team up because you suffered a loss against a good team. That's not how smart franchises work. And as a Bears fan, as much as I would love for them to do that, as a realist, they shouldn't. But hey, who knows what will happen this offseason? They have a lot of stuff going on, like, Jair Alexander might not be coming back. You have the whole thing with Romeo Doubs. And if the Packers get another wide receiver and Romeo Doubs doesn't get the ball again, Romeo Doubs might request a trade. You don't know what's going to happen. So the main thing is, for Packers fans, be patient. Just wait. Things are going to come eventually. Also, for the love of God, please quit acting like Malik Willis is some world beater. Like, legitimately, he had a couple of exciting games, but quit acting like this guy is going to be a major threat in the future. Your future is Jordan Love. Your future isn't Malik Willis, who... the main highlight this is off topic, but the main highlight I know of Malik Willis is just him against the Chiefs, where I believe he just had more rushing yards than fucking passing yards. But regardless, I can't believe I'm being rational to Packers fans. If you guys were wanting me to flambe into this team, I don't know. Ha ha ha. You lost to the Eagles, and ha ha ha. You let the Bears score again. You let the Bears win against you in Lambeau Field.